Indiana. We had a big victory here not so long ago. Big victory. Big one. A big one. And I'm thrilled to be back in the heartland. And you want to see something special? Take a look outside at the thousands and thousands of people that wanted to get inside. You got lucky. You got lucky. This is an incredible time for America. Jobs are soaring. Wages are rising. Optimism is skyrocketing. And more Americans are working today than ever before in our history. Tomorrow, the people of Indiana are going to send Mike Braun to the U.S. Senate to keep America's economic boom surging full speed ahead. He's a great guy, a very successful guy, wonderful guy. Nobody knows he went to Harvard Business School and did well. I shouldn't mention Harvard, but I have to because at least it shows he has very high aptitude tests, right? And that's, that's okay. That's a good thing. He's a smart guy and he's a great guy and he loves the people of Indiana. He loves Indiana. Mike Braun. Republicans have created the best economy in the history of our country. This is the single best economy in the history of our great country. And it's the hottest jobs market on the planet Earth. But everything we have achieved is at stake tomorrow. Everything. Because they can take it apart just as fast as we built it. But I don't think that's going to happen based on what I'm seeing all over the place. If the radical Democrats take power, they will take a wrecking ball to our economy and to the future of our country. When you enter the voting booth on Tuesday, you will be making a simple choice. A vote for Republicans is a vote to continue our extraordinary prosperity. A vote for Democrats is a vote to bring this economic boom crashing down very rapidly. The Democrat agenda will deliver a socialist nightmare. That's what it is. The Republican agenda is delivering the American dream, optimism, the American dream. In the last month alone, we added another 250,000 brand new jobs. They couldn't believe it, the fake news media. They were very upset. They were very upset. Very, very upset. They were very upset when they saw those numbers. And couldn't have come at a better time. Friday. What a beautiful time. Election on Tuesday comes on Friday. And by the way, that's despite those numbers, two unbelievably powerful, vicious hurricanes, which always devastate job numbers. Despite that, 250,000 new jobs. The unemployment rate is now at the lowest level in more than 50 years. We have created 4.5 million new jobs since Election Day. Oh, wasn't that a nice day? Remember that? Was that a nice day? Oh, that beautiful November day. We had a lot of happy. Were you all happy on that particular day? Well, they were among the highest ratings in the history of television. That still didn't make them happy. They were miserable. That's the only time they got great ratings and they felt badly about it. And we've lifted 4.3 million Americans off of food stamps. African American, Hispanic American, Asian American unemployment have all reached the lowest levels in the history of our country. And we passed, despite the fact that it was said it could not be done, a massive tax cut, largest in history, for Indiana workers, for the entire country, and we will soon follow it up with another 10% tax cut for the middle class. And to protect your rights and freedoms, we overcame the Democrat smear campaign and confirmed the newest member of the United States Supreme Court, Justice Brett Kavanaugh. And just in case you haven't seen it, one of his accusers came out on Friday and said she never met him. He didn't do the horrible thing that she said. She never met him. It didn't happen. She was lying. She was lying. It was a false accusation. It was a false statement. A disgrace. And I remember when that phony statement came out, a lot of people were saying he must immediately abandon. He must. And you know what? For 10 years, everybody said Brett Kavanaugh. I didn't know who he was. But for 10 years, the intellect, the scholastic ability, the legal genius, I was hearing his name for years, that they said he'll be on the Supreme Court. I said, who is he? Who is he? But I'd hear it for years. And think of that. This woman came out and said she made up the story. And they got to look at the other ones also, folks, because take a look at the other ones, folks. You know, when I gave him a little phone call, could I meet you? I met him at the White House. Really clean-cut, nice guy. I said, Judge, at that time he was judge, had an incredible record. Not a problem in his whole life. Best student, Yale Law School. Best marks, best everything, right? Never a problem, perfect family, beautiful, great kids, wife, everything perfect. I said, Judge, I want to nominate you for the United States Supreme Court. And he said, sir, this is the greatest honor of my life. We shook hands. And I said, Judge, let me just tell you, this is going to be a piece of cake. You are so good. Your academic record, your record at home, your record in everywhere. You are going to go through so fast. It's going to be so easy. And he said, thank you. And then he sat down and a lot of bad things started being said. And I'll tell you what, it was a disgrace. One guy, you know who that is? The great Vietnam hero, right? Great Vietnam hero, right? You know all about that, except he never went to Vietnam. And he stood up and he said, I don't want any lies. I only want the truth. This guy lied for 15 years about his Da Nang, right? Da Nang province. So when I was climbing up the hill with Da Nang, I was climbing up the hill, and my soldiers were going down left and right. He never saw Vietnam. He was in the reserves. Not bad, reserves. He never saw Vietnam. He was climbing up the hill, bullets left and right. My buddy's going down. And then he wants honesty. This is the crap we have to put up with. Then you have Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein. Todd Young's friend, Senator Cornyn of Texas, looked at her, said, "Did you leak?" And she got scared, He's a pretty tough guy, right, Todd? General, I mean, this was unbelievable. "Did you leak?" Senator Cornyn, "Did you leak?" And she goes, "What? Did you leak?" Did we leak? We went through this. The worst body language any human being has ever used or seen. In other words, she leaked. She leaked. And that's just the beginning. What they did is a disgrace. Oh, no. Are they good ones or bad ones? Good or bad? Good or bad? Hey, look at the cameras, everybody. They're finally turned. Look. They're finally turned. They're finally turned. The cameras turned like a pretzel. Did you see that? They had no angle, but they won't turn to show these huge crowds. They never want to show the crowds. You have to see. You have to see. I just left Ohio. You want to see? It was incredible. This is incredible. Outside is even more incredible because it's more people, but they never show it. They keep it right trained in my face, which I don't like, and about 5 people behind me. Somebody there is going to be a star. I don't know who it is. You may have better seats, but you know what? Honestly, somebody's going to be very famous back there. But they don't show the crowds. Could you spin the cameras around, please, and show the crowd? Come on. They don't turn them. Look. They don't turn them because they're fake news. They're fake news. They're fake news. They never turn them. My wife always says, "How was the crowd?" I say, "Didn't you see it?" "No, they kept it right on your face." They never move your face. They never. And they do that because they don't want people to see how big the crowd is. They don't want that. Now, President Obama, he was in Miami or someplace, and in the big basketball arena that seats 18,000 people, he had 1,000 people. Seriously. And not one person that I saw reported that. If I had one empty seat right up in that corner, right there, hello folks, right there. If there was an empty seat, that would be a front page story that we're not drawing the crowds anymore. Right, Coach? Right, Coach? No, they don't turn the camera. In fact, that's about the first protester I've seen in a long time, and it's the first time I've seen the cameras like pretzels, boom, right up into that. Because you see, they think that's a bad thing for us to have a protester. And tomorrow you'll have on television protests. Was it one person or two? It was one person. The contrast in this election could not be more clear. By the way, is there anything like a Trump rally? Governor! Democrats produce mobs. That's what they're doing. But we're winning. Republicans produce jobs. Very simple. Very simple. A vote for any Democrat tomorrow is a vote to hand over power to crying Chuck Schumer. You know crying Chuck, right? Remember when he never cried before. I've known him a long time. I never saw him cry, but that was an appropriate moment. Right on schedule. Nancy Pelosi. The legendary Maxine Waters, a real genius. And their extreme job-killing agenda. That's what it's for. They want to raise your taxes, the Democrats do. Restore crippling regulations, shut down your new steel mills, take away your health care, and put illegal aliens before American citizens. That's what they want. Democrats are inviting caravan after caravan of illegal aliens to pour into our country, overwhelming your schools, your hospitals, and your communities. If you want more caravans, if you want more crime, vote Democrat tomorrow. If you want strong borders, you see what we're doing? We got the worst laws because they won't give us the votes. If you want strong borders and safe communities, no drugs, no caravans, vote Republican. All right, get them out of here, please. Get them out. 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 Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy. Oh, look at the cameras. Look, the cameras are right on them. The cameras are right on them, folks. All right, can we have our law enforcement take them out of here, please? You know the funny thing about this stuff, though? There's a guy who's a weak person with a weak voice. Nobody hears him. But our guys are all going crazy like this. Our guys actually make the disturbance, but that's okay. We love our guys. What can we do? We love them. We're thrilled to be joined tonight, and he just spoke a little while ago, but he's been a friend of mine for a long time. An American football legend who truly knows winning. My friend, Coach Lou Holtz. Lou, thank you. Lou. What a coach. And what a great guy he is, too. Thank you, Lou. We're also grateful to be joined by many terrific Indiana Republicans, including a man that has done an excellent job. You know, he followed a very tough act. Vice President Mike Pence, right? Very tough act. And he has done a phenomenal job. In fact, Mike was telling me what a great job Governor Eric Holcomb has done. And we also have here someplace, it's tough to find them. Boy, it's tough. They should tell me, like, where are they? Look at this place. I'm supposed to find somebody. A great person, a friend of mine, helped us so much in every single thing we passed, and nobody's done better than we have in the first 2 years of office. That I can tell you. Senator Todd Young, there he is. Great person, hard worker and a winner. Thank you, Todd. Great job. And also Congressman Jim Banks, big help. Thank you, Jim. They're great people. They've helped us with a lot. If you don't want to be saying the words, ladies and gentlemen, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, for the next 2 years, you got to get out tomorrow, and you have to get out. You got to get, Jim, are you ready? You got to get out. Vote for Jim. Vote for all of those great congressmen. Vote for all of those great congressmen and women. We have great congressmen and women. And again, something's going on, folks. Something's going on. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. There was something going on 2 years ago. There was something going on, and I felt it. And I feel it again. So I want to introduce 3 people that probably you've heard of. And, you know, I just left Ohio and I said, I will never mention the word beautiful when referring to a woman. I will never do it. No man in this room will ever again say a woman is beautiful, right? Because it's not politically correct. But I have a daughter who's very smart. Her name is Ivanka. And she's here. Ivanka, come up.
Hi, Indiana. We love you. We really love you. And we are fighting for you each and every day. And tomorrow, we want you all to turn up and help us fight back so we continue to keep this rolling. This moment of opportunity, unlike anything this country has ever seen. Truly, it's a golden era of opportunity. My father mentioned the job numbers, but people are coming off the sidelines into our workforce. Unemployment is at record low across all categories. It's never been a better time to be an American worker. And that can't stop. So get out and vote tomorrow. And thank you for your love. We return it. Thank you.
And she's a very nice person, I can tell you, and very smart. She went to the Wharton School of Finance, and they say she was very, very smart. Are you ready? He goes, I'm beautiful. No, I don't say that. Don't ever say that. I have 2 other great women with me. You've never heard of them. They're very shy and retiring. They want to keep it that way. Kellyanne Conway and Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Thank you, Indiana. You'll have to forgive Kellyanne and I. We're maybe a little speechless. We're not used to friendly crowds. Thank you. It's an honor to be here with so many incredible people. Mostly it's an honor to be with you, Mr. President. Thank you for giving us the privilege of a lifetime to work in your historic administration and to do incredible things and literally change the course of our country. A lot of people know me in my official capacity, and it's one of the greatest honors of my life to serve in your administration and one of the most important jobs I'll ever have. But the greatest job that I'll ever have, and the greatest title I'll ever have is that of a mom. And that's why... And that's why I work for this president, because I care about my kids' future, and I care about the future of our country, and I want somebody that I know will protect their future, protect this country, and make sure that they have the best America possible, and that's why we're going to keep making America great again. Thank you so much, Indiana.
We all love her. Mr. President, thank you. Ivanka, Sarah, I love me some Hoosiers. So let me just say, in my personal capacity, because this election is very personal to me, Joe must go. Get him out. It sounds like about 13,000 people saying that, Mr. President. You don't need to be a pollster to know how to count. This place is filled to the rafters. This president's policies have helped the job creators, the job holders, and the job seekers. And ladies and gentlemen, if you think your vote doesn't count, if you think that it doesn't matter to have a small majority in the United States Senate, you did not live through the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. It matters. Elections have consequences. And your vote tomorrow is so incredibly important. Yeah, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, but you have to do one more thing for us. You've got to get everybody you know out to the polls tomorrow, or it doesn't matter. You got to get them out. Grab a friend. Get a colleague. Tell them it matters. We need to keep this going. Mr. President, I just am reminded of the 2016 crowds. It looked an awful lot like this. It's starting to feel an awful lot the same. But my favorite thing, Mr. President, they'd say, we see all the crowds, we see the crowds, but will they vote? No, they stood in the rain for 4 hours. They stayed overnight just to be here, but they're not going to vote. So you tell me, but will you vote? God bless you, Indiana. Go, Mike Braun. God bless the United States of America.
So I just saw them standing there, and I said, let's get them up here, right? That's good. That was a good job. But it is true. I didn't say it in a long time. They used to say, I remember I was in New Hampshire making a speech, and they had people, it was like 25 degrees below zero. They're freezing. They were there for 24 hours. Their clothing, I don't know who makes it, but it must be the greatest in the world, right? And then the media was saying, yes, they waited for 24 hours in sub-zero temperature, but will they vote? To vote took about 15 seconds, right? Will they vote? The answer was they voted in New Hampshire. They voted all over, and here we are, folks. Here we are. Tomorrow, the people of Indiana are going to elect an outstanding man. He will be a great new senator to work along with Todd. A vote for Mike Braun is a vote to keep your jobs going, to keep your wages going up, and to take care once and for all, and we've done a really good job for it. You look at the Wall Street Journal today, their editorial, they say we haven't gotten the credit for what we've done to healthcare, including, by the way, getting rid of the worst part of Obamacare, the individual mandate. We're taking care of health care. It's a vote to keep your family safe and to keep criminals, traffickers, and drug dealers the hell out of our country. We want them out. Mike's opponent is an extreme liberal Democrat named Joe Donnelly. Now, he's gone rogue on the Democrats. He's gone rogue because now he likes Trump a lot. He loves my border policy. They got to come in through a process. They got to come in legally. I don't know if he said the wall yet, but he will be saying that pretty soon, I suspect, Todd, right? And all of a sudden, he's talking about what we've been talking. Now, here's the problem. There's one problem. We'll have the election tomorrow, and on Wednesday, he'll be totally against us. He'll never vote for us. He will never, ever vote for us. That's what's the problem. A number of them, I'm popular in a lot of states. Can you believe this? Really popular. I mean, we won states by more than 42 points. Can you believe it? So when you guys think you're doing well, I did well in a lot of, and all of a sudden we see these senators veering to almost exactly my words. I say, did they turn Republican? But what they do is on Wednesday, they go back to who they are. And we'll never get a vote from Joe Donnelly. When we come in with the health care, when we come in with whatever we want, we will never, because it's obstruction. Their whole campaign is named Resist, right? Resist. We don't want to resist. We want to get things done. We want the opposite. So, a vote for Joe is a vote to put Schumer in charge of the Senate and to put Dianne Feinstein in charge of Senate Judiciary Committee. Remember, Joe Donnelly voted against your tax cuts, and he joined the Democrat mob in voting against Justice Brett Kavanaugh. You know that. Despite what he's saying this week, just happened. I was surprised, but not that surprised. Donnelly also supports open borders. He voted to give free welfare to illegal aliens, and he sponsored Dianne Feinstein's bill to expand catch and release. Joe Donnelly was rated the least effective Democrat in the entire United States Senate. That's why they call him Sleeping Joe. No, but look at this. Look, you got a chance to put Mike Braun there. Smart, tough. He sleeps about 4 hours a night or less. He's going to work like hell for you. And he's going to really, he doesn't care. He's given up a lot to do this. He's given up a lot. Given up a lot. And Joe wakes up primarily when Schumer calls. Yes, sir. This is the way I want you to vote. Yes, sir. If you want a senator who will always be loyal to the people of Indiana, he'll do what's right. Vote tomorrow. Get out tomorrow. You got to do it. Mike Braun. He will be a great senator. Mike, come on up.
Fort Wayne, Allen County, the heart and soul of conservatism in Indiana. That's what you are. You know, the president is right. I'm doing this, I think, for the right reasons. Not to pay in the perks, not to nestle in D.C. I signed a term limits pledge. It's to help somebody that's shaken up Washington. So when my wife and I decided, he's right, we lived out east for 2 years, saw the light, moved back to our hometown, been there ever since. She's had her business in our downtown for 40 years. I've had my own for 37. And you learn a lot in the real world. These folks that go there and do it for the pay and the perks, nestle in, nothing gets done. I remember back to November 2016. We all watched with amazement that year when this new guy from out east came onto the scene, took on the establishment. Yeah. I'll never forget, I did go to bed at 2:15, and I do get by with 5 to 6 hours of sleep, but went to bed, got up the next morning about 5:30, 5:45, turned the tube on, and see President-elect Trump. So you've all done it before. When you heard great news, I'm jumping up and down. I knew my wife had about another hour to go. I went up, got her out of bed. We were both hooping and hollering. What a big day. So, this is a rare opportunity. We've got tax reform that's already come down the pike. We're sharing those benefits with our employees. We raised 401k benefits, lowered family health care plans by $1,400 a year, took on the health insurance companies 10 years ago. My employees have not paid a nickel more for good insurance in 10 years. That's what you're going to get out of me. We finally got an opportunity. We need more reinforcements from the real world, people that have done something. You're going to see in the next 2 years, and once President gets reelected, there are going to be more people like me that come on board. So, do this for me. Family and friends, get them out to vote. Help me send Joe Donnelly to the early retirement he deserves. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow. He's going to be great. He's going to be great. And Todd, I think you like very much the prospect of working with that man, right? Todd Young. Thank you. Thank you, Todd. That'll be a great team. That'll be a great team. If Democrats gain power on Tuesday, one of their very first projects will be a socialist takeover of American health care. All right, get them out, please. Get them out. know what it is about Indiana, but I'm not surprised. I haven't had one of these things happen in a long time, and now I have 3 of them tonight. That's Indiana for you. That's India. Going back home to mom. The Democrat plan would obliterate Medicare and eliminate Medicare Advantage for more than 360,000 Indiana seniors who depend on it. Republicans will protect Medicare for our great seniors who earned it and who, by the way, paid for it. They did pay for it. And Republicans will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. Please remember that. Democrats' plan to destroy health care also includes raiding Medicare to fund benefits for illegal immigrants, not something that Indiana is really thrilled about. Your taxes will triple. Your taxes will triple. As we speak, Democrats are openly encouraging millions of illegal aliens to break our laws, violate our borders, and overrun our country, and they want to sign them up for free welfare, free health care, free education, and most importantly, the right to vote. They want them to vote. They want them to vote, folks. That's what they want. That's a big deal. So that people like Todd Young will never see the Senate again. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I have a feeling. There's only one way to stop this Democrat-led assault on America's sovereignty. You have to vote Republican tomorrow. You have to. Illegal immigration costs our country more than $100 billion every single year. Think of that. $100 billion. And that's a very, very low number. I'm using that low number so they can't criticize me. Because if I said seriously, $210 billion, they, if I'm off 15 cents on the high side, they'll say Donald Trump exaggerated the number. So I go real low, I cut it in half. $100 billion, and that's a real low number. And that's more than double the budget of Indiana, Tennessee, and Georgia combined. And I mentioned those 2 other great places because we have 2 big races in Georgia, right? You know that, right? Big one. We have a big one in Georgia, big one in Tennessee. Marsha Blackburn's great. Great. Brian, you're going to have a new governor, and he's going to be great in Georgia. You got to have it right. We got to get it right. To make our country great again, we have to get it right. We're going to get it right. These dangerous policies drain our treasury, and they threaten our communities. Nearly 100% of the heroin in the United States enters through the southern border. People don't know that. Along with roughly 90% of cocaine, the majority of meth, and a substantial portion of deadly fentanyl. These drugs destroy the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, and 70,000 Americans a year die from these drugs. Last year alone, our brave ICE officers, who the Democrats want to fire, they're great. They're tough, they're strong, and they love our country, I'll tell you that. And they take a lot of abuse. Arrested more than, listen to this, 127,000 illegal aliens with criminal records. 127,000 with criminal records. Including those charged or convicted of approximately 48,000 assaults, 12,000 sex crimes, and 1,800 murders. Can you believe it? And did you see what I put on this week? Did you see not the rough guy screaming at the judge that he's going to kill everybody, but the second one wearing a hat? And he wanted to come into our country, but he asked for a pardon. And they said, oh, the announcer, the young woman that was doing probably some kind of a reporter, And she said, oh, you want a pardon? What is it for? And they have it in Spanish. Murder. She said, what? Murder. Murder. You want a pardon for murder? This was one of the people in the caravan. Wants a pardon for murder. Or attempted murder, to be exact. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We're making our country great again. We don't want that. You can't make a country great if we're going to take some other country's problems. Other countries that we pay hundreds of millions of dollars to a year, and then they allow caravans to form. That's not going to go on too long, I'll tell you. Not going to go on too long. But the Democrats want to abolish ICE. They want America to be a giant sanctuary city for drug dealers, gang members, and MS-13 killers. Republicans believe America should be a sanctuary city for law-abiding Americans, not criminal aliens. And we will always stand with the heroes of ICE, Border Patrol, and law enforcement. And you do have great law enforcement in Indiana. They're all over the place. They're great. You got great law enforcement. Great governor. Great governor. This election is about safety, and this election is about jobs. For years you watched as we let foreign countries plunder our wealth, shutter our factories, and steal our jobs. But those days are over. And in case you haven't noticed, our country is respected again. Very much respected. We're respected again. We've added nearly 500,000 manufacturing jobs since the election, jobs that the previous administration said could never come back. You remember that? Remember, we need a magic wand to get them back. We found the magic wand. And last month alone, we added another 32,000 manufacturing jobs. That's 1,000 new manufacturing jobs every single day. They were never going to come back. They're all over the place. And we have many, many companies coming back into our country. I was with Prime Minister Abe of Japan. Great gentleman, just had a big re-election, got a tremendous vote. And he said, many car companies, he gave me a list of the names. I have the, because I don't want to just hear many. I want to know specifically which ones are we talking about. Because they do very well with the United States. You know, for years, Japan does very well with the United States. And I told him, he's a friend of mine, Shinzo, we have to start talking about this. This is no good. Too unfair. No good. But he said, but we are sending many companies. And it's true. We have companies going to Ohio and Indiana and North Carolina and South Carolina and Pennsylvania and Florida. Big, big, beautiful car companies, because we like the cars when they're made here, not when they're made in other countries. I just like them better. They have a better feel. They have a better feel. I like them made in the USA. Remember years ago? Made in the USA. You don't hear that, but you're starting to hear it, because we are bringing back new companies like you've never seen, including Foxconn in Wisconsin. Foxconn. Governor Scott Walker did an incredible job. I told them, Foxconn, they're friends of mine. Scott, good luck. And I handed it to him, and there are very, very few people, governors. I think your governor could have pulled it off, actually. There are very few, I know he could. There are very few governors that could have taken that big, big, complex deal and quickly made it into one of the most incredible plants I've ever seen in my life. They make Apple equipment, much of the Apple equipment at the highest level. They make robots. They make things you wouldn't believe. It's like a new age. We brought them into Wisconsin, and they're coming, and many other companies are coming. They're all pouring into our company. They want to be. They're coming into our country at every level. They want to be where the action is, and they say it. We want to be where the action is, and this country is the hottest country anywhere in the world, and that's where they want to be. I recently announced that we are replacing the horrible NAFTA deal with an incredible brand new U.S., Mexico, Canada agreement. Great deal. The USMCA is a tremendous victory for Indiana farmers, manufacturers, and dairy producers. Everybody in our country is very happy about that deal, and they've studied it closely. We have taken historic action to bring back American jobs by cracking down on China's very abusive trade practices. But that's going to work out. That's going to work out. Taking in billions and billions of dollars in taxes from China never happened before. But they want to make a deal, and that's good, because I like them and I like their president, President Xi. And we're going to make a deal, I believe. After years of, but a fair deal. There's a difference. No bad deals. After years of rebuilding other countries, we are finally rebuilding our country. And we are doing it with American steel. Thanks to our tariffs and tough trade policies, our steel mills are roaring back to life, and you see that all over your state. Here in Indiana, Steel Dynamics has announced a $75 million investment in Columbia City and a $400 million investment in Terre Haute. And just 3 months ago, U.S. Steel announced a $750 million investment in a place called Gary, Indiana. Do we have a doctor, please? Doctor? Doctor in the house, please. Thank you. Thank you. Okay? Take your time. No problem. Take your time. Doctor, please. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. That's one of our good fans. Let's just hope everything's fine, right? We have plenty of time. Plenty of time. Thank you, doctor. Good. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. We have water right here, coming out. Water coming out. Looking good, looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Great job. Thank you. Looking good. With our great people, he'll be back in about 10 minutes. That was good. That was good. Thank you very much, doctor. Every day it's promises made, promises kept. We have also taken bold action to reduce the price of prescription drugs. And I want to thank Pfizer, Novartis, and others. We called them. We said, you got to reduce the price of your drugs, and they did. They didn't do the increase. So we want to thank them. But prices are coming down now for prescription drugs. We pay more than any country in the world, and there's nothing good about that. And we've offered new affordable health care plans in Indiana that cost nearly 60% less than Obamacare, and they're better plans. And very proudly for our veterans, we passed Veterans Choice. We just passed Choice, where the veteran has a choice to go to a private doctor rather than waiting in line for days and weeks and months. And we pay for that private doctor. They have been trying to pass that for over 40 years. We got it done. We're good at getting things approved. And the landmark VA accountability law to ensure that anyone who mistreats our veterans can be immediately held accountable. You're fired. Get out. And we secured $700 billion and $716 billion over 2 years to fully rebuild the United States military, and we gave our great warriors their largest pay raise in more than 10 years. And at my direction, the Pentagon is now working to create the sixth branch of the American Armed Forces called the Space Force. Very important. And I withdrew the United States from the horrible one-sided Iran nuclear deal. It was a catastrophe. Doing very well on that front. And we have recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American Embassy in Jerusalem. Together, we have made extraordinary progress, and we are just getting started. Go out and vote. This is the greatest, this is the greatest political movement in the history of our country. It really is. I mean, I don't even think it's close. And if it was, they would be knocking it. Let's see, what was better? Well, I don't think too many were better. This is the greatest in the history of our country. There's never been anything like this. You could almost say, because it's us, the history of the world. What's a bigger movement than this? And let's keep it going, by the way, tomorrow, folks. Let's keep it going. 2 years ago, we shocked the Washington establishment and stunned the entire world when we defied the pundits and the critics, rejected the failures of corrupt status quo, and elected a government that finally puts America first. It's about time. Every day since the failed old ruling class have been trying to claw back their way, they've been trying to claw back their way into power. They're not having an easy time. The fact is, I shouldn't say this because I want to unite. I do eventually want to unite. But the fact is, we're driving them crazy. We're driving them crazy. They don't know what to do. They're going loco. That's all right. Hopefully it's going to all come together someday like a beautiful puzzle. They have been on a shameless campaign to obstruct resist, demolish, defame, and destroy. True, they have been. It's ridiculous. But you can stop them with your votes tomorrow. We will not be intimidated by mob rule because our movement is America's movement. You are moms and dads and sons and daughters, students and workers, farmers and soldiers. You follow our laws, give back to our communities, and raise your children to be strong, upstanding citizens. You are loyal and faithful to your country, and now you finally have a president that is loyal and faithful to you. For years, you watched as your leaders apologized for America. You've seen it many, many times. Now you have a president who is standing up for America, and it's my honor to do so. We are standing up for your values. We are standing up for Indiana, and we are standing proudly for our great national anthem. I am asking every citizen from every party, every background, and every race, color, and creed to reject the Democrat politics of anger and division and to unite behind our proud and righteous destiny as Americans. All together. All together, we're Americans. I need you to get your family, get your friends, get your neighbors, get your coworkers, and go out and vote for a Republican House and a Republican Senate and Republicans at every level of government. And I need you to vote for Mike Braun tomorrow. Devoted citizens like you help build this country. And together we are taking back our country, returning power to where it belongs with you, the American people. This great state of Indiana was built by tough frontier men and strong pioneer women who braved the wilderness to build a life, a dream, and a home with their own two hands. They didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have a lot of luxury, but they all had one thing in common. They loved their families, they loved their country, and they loved their God. These courageous Americans did not shed their blood, sweat, and tears so that we could sit at home while others tried to erase their legacy, tear down our history, and destroy our proud American heritage. That's not what it's about. From the farm fields of Indiana to the big sky of Montana, from the deserts of Nevada to the red rocks of Arizona, from the coal mines of West Virginia to the steel mills of Ohio, and in every city and town across our land, we are going to work, we are going to fight, and we are going to win, win, win. We will not bend. We will not break. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down. And we will never surrender. We will always fight on to one thing. What is that one thing? Victory. It's victory. We will always fight on to victory because we are Americans and our hearts bleed red, white, and blue. We are one people. people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And Indiana, together, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again.